Hi, it is the human operating system time. So recently I released two videos in YouTube. These two videos, and in these two videos I share on the three mechanics of Wing Chun and the four indicators of entry into internal Kung Fu development, which means if one like to study internal martial arts, be it Wing Chun or other martial arts, the internal type, then one need to know the four indicators so one know whether one really develop it or not. Now, these two videos is to reform the Wing Chun sets today. Okay. The three mechanics and the four indicator must be put back into the Xiu Lim Tao sets if one want to get result. Okay. Otherwise, as I pointed out in the previous videos, it is a disaster when we keeping mixing up or taking in some other styles, informations or concept where we do not understand what is going on with our own sets. It has been like that for past 100 years. Okay. That's why this is 2019, next year is 2020. For 2020, for those who like it, it is the time to put all these mechanics and the indicator back into the Xiu Lim Tao set, so everybody can get result. And this doesn't mean that to convert into any lineage or what is the authentic teaching or which is a grandmaster. Put those aside, because the four indicator and the three mechanics is the core of the sets. Without it, it will never work. Okay. Now, that is an issue in the traditional Chinese martial arts evolutions. So, if you want to really seriously look into the historic data, since Wing Chun is a soft short strike art, if you look from the data from the Qi Ji Guang, general Qi Ji Guang era to today, what you will find out is the Japanese judo, jiu-jitsu is closer to what we think on the short strike or soft art of the Chinese martial art today via the Kung Fu movie. So, in other words, the one which is follow closely with the traditional Chinese martial art since the general Qi Ji Guang time is the Japanese judo and jiu-jitsu, while the Kung Fu movie today has been moved or drift away from what it is. Okay. So, for example, we like to talk about this chi and mind power and so forth. We'll just ask ourselves, do you think those people who do judo and jiu-jitsu doesn't have that? Well, look at the result. Judo is in Olympic. Where is the traditional Chinese martial art into Olympic yet? Okay. Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, BJJ is in MMA. Where is traditional Chinese martial arts in MMA today? It's not that we say that Chinese martial art is not good. It is that we need to know what exactly is Chinese martial art is about. And speaking of this, I have a movie from the Chinese movie, which is, I think, is very good. If you want to understand how and why the Chinese martial art distorted and what is going on, this movie is pretty good, okay? And even the Chinese say that this is a pretty to the point. It is this movie, The Sword Identity. Okay, you can rent it from Amazon or somewhere else. Just watch it, okay? See how sad it is that many traditional Chinese martial art lost. Okay, and in fact, traditional Chinese martial art is pretty scientific. Okay, so one key we need to be really careful in Wing Chun is the first thing about the three mechanics. Okay. Since General Qi Ji Guang time to today, since General Qi Ji Guang fighting the Japanese pirate to our Wing Chun Red Boat ancestor uprising in the Red Boat. Mechanics is the key. Mechanics is the soul of the art. It is not those magic Jing, magic Qi, magic mind power, and mechanics is like in the previous video on the mechanics, I presented that using the elbow as a handle and the neck as a handle. Since General Qi Ji Guang time, that has been within the short strike art. Okay, this is the two handles, and that's why I said I shared in the previous video. It is within the first move of the Wing Chun wooden dummy in general, namely this grabbing, and this is a hook to the neck. That's what is the two handles, and you can see that Grapple is using it today. And then you can track that back to the General Qi Ji Guang era and so forth, so forth. Now, those are mechanics. All this mind power, Qi power, you can have ask 1,000 people, even a teacher teach 1,000 people, and everybody will interpret things or say things differently. Well, now you got a big problem. Okay? So, it is the mechanics. And this mechanics get to Korea, get to Japan. You can see in the judo and so forth, and people is following the mechanics, not following this. I have this magic Jing power, mind power, but nobody know how to clearly describe what it is. And with the mechanics, right away you get into scientific physics. That's why you look at judo. Judo can get the mechanics, map into the physics, go to Olympic. While those people who keeping have this fudging, magic stuff, this and that, and being proven for past decades that it cannot handle even BJJ or MMA or or judo, you know, look at into the MMA competitions. There's a reality. So I'm not here to say who is bad or who is what, but I'm here to say, to emphasize, my point is, look into mechanics, not this thing. In the Chinese ancient history, there's a story saying that a guy can meditate and see, he doesn't have to move, he meditate and he sees somebody have a cart, you know, passing through his home. They can inside this room, and then you can meditate and see who passed through his house. And one day a friend just walked in saying that, you know what, I don't have to train meditations for 20 years like you. I just use my leg, walk out to the in front of my door, the door. I can see clearly exactly that who passed through this house. Okay, while you're sitting down there meditate and you're not sure whether you really see it or not. So that is what it is. You need to rely on mechanics, physics, human biomechanics, instead of all this fudging, all this kind of stuff where nobody know how to define it. I'm not saying that they are not true. Maybe that's true, but that, you know, it's like this story about this people who can meditate. After 20 years, he can see whoever passed through his home, his house, but the other guy don't even have to do anything, just walk in and out and see who it is, what it is. Okay, so the first thing is mechanic. The second thing is on that 4 indicators. Those are holistic human biomechanics in the in dynamic, in action. Okay, it's a whole, that 4 indicators. One simply cannot say, you know, I want to lift my anus, I want to align my spine, or I want to squeeze my lower abdomen. In a dynamic, have you seen those MMA people have to think of squeeze their anus or dantian, lift their anus, squeeze their dantian, and align their spine in the MMA competitions, in the high-speed dynamic? So again, we want to follow what is the human body nature mechanics, not the concept of this internal, that internal, align this, align that. Well, that's good if you want to do some demo and so forth, but in the real life, you don't see those things happen. Okay, so my point is, put the mechanics and the 4 indicator back into your ceiling tile sets. This is not about whose lineage is better than who or anything. We don't have time for that. You need to put it in to get result and to really understand what is going on. Like I pointed out in the wooden dummy. Okay, you and me can practice the wooden dummy as, you know, the way how we learn and so forth, but we don't even know that, oh, the first move, you use the 3 mechanics, and right away you can see what type of result it is compared with what people usually practice, or how we usually practice. That's mechanics. And also, if one is really having this 4 indicator develop the 4 indicator as internal arts. When one performs that first techniques in the wooden dummy, one will right away aware of one's body being not optimized and problematic. So, the test is very simple. The first movement of the wooden dummy. If one won't be able to aware of one's body is not in an optimized or proper mechanics, then that one means one doesn't have internal arts development. If one doesn't know the mechanics, that means one doesn't know how is that techniques works. One can keep in going for this mind power, I want to link this power down to ground, all this kind of stuff. But if you don't have that 3 mechanics, you just cannot make it work. So, as a summary, put this 4 indicator and the 3 mechanics back to your sets, if you like to, and just drop all this lineage politics or mine is better than you, anything, because you need to do that. Otherwise, what good is it to keeping practice something like the 修炼套 for you don't have result, you know. Well, it feels good, okay? I can practice that. I call my staff 1850 Yikam 修炼套. I can practice all day long and show you in YouTube video. But if I cannot make it work, what good is that? So finally, again, I really encourage and recommend watch this movie and think clearly. Do we want to go scientific, or we want to go into as what happened in that movie? So this is to share with you today.